This is 11.5 of What If Asta Was the Reincarnation of Link. Sorry if it happened again, it's just that my phone turned off again, which is getting irritating for me. I don't know why it happens, but pretty much we continue from where we left off. Asta. Pretty much Asta was, of course, tapped the sword, the anti-magic sword, on both the two Eye of the Midnight Sun members' head, which they didn't feel anything, because it wasn't meant to hurt them, just to dispel the magic to block off their mind, to give out any information. With, of course, the assistant saying, is it done? With also saying, yeah, probably is. Try it out yourself. With pretty much the assistant doing the same thing as Canon, looking in their minds, and getting all the information as Canon. And pretty much the same interaction goes as Canon for like Asta facing down the captain of the Purple Orca, saying that why would you betray the country and stuff like that, and pretty much the captain pretty much just talking about just like he doesn't care, it's just that he wants some money and he's rich and blah 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 blah, being the antagonist, pretty much being a jerk of a person, horrible type of person, that he's willing to give up his own country for money, literally. With, of course, Asta knocking him out with an extremely powerful punch, because he used a grapple shot to hook onto him, which also the captain of the Purple Orcas was completely shocked, because any type of magic had to go through him and doesn't hurt him. But it's anti-magic that was able to grapple him, and Asta literally punched the absolute crap out of him, pretty much making him lose 2 teeth. The captain of the Purple Orca saying, "You bastard! You filthy commoner, laying your hands on a noble." With us saying, well, a noble that doesn't treat his kingdom with respect, I wouldn't even treat you with respect, even if you were trash. Actually, you're even worse than trash. You're pretty much with the captain of the Purple Orcas extremely pissed extremely pissed from what Asta said. And that's when he starts sinking, the same as Canon, being captured by the Aquadeer, captain of the Aquadeers. And he is extremely amazed of the Asta's skills and also his magic of asking what he is, with Asta not saying anything, just, of course, being quiet. With, of course, just carrying the captain of the Purple Orcas, with him still being conscious, with the guy saying, "Let me go, you filthy commoner! I don't deserve this! I have my rights!" Pretty much just arguing and babbling, with Asta just getting a bit annoyed, laying him down, with Purple Orca saying, "So you finally come to your senses. And after that, I will instantly just getting punched straight into the face, losing another 2 teeth by Asta." With also saying, "Now that's better. He won't be talking anymore." With the captain of the Aquadeer was kind of shocked that Asta would be doing something very violent, but also shocked that he would pretty much stand up to a noble, which also caught his interest of him. With not like that, but like wanted him to like fight and battle him, pretty much like that. With Asta pretty much just taking him to the meeting, same as Canon. With the same as Canon, the same charges, the same things, pretty much the captain of the Purple Orca is being deemed as a traitor and amongst the ranks, and pretty much that's when they figure out like one of the traitors, but that's when they don't know if there's any more traitors. And pretty much the same thing as Canon when the king kind of thanks him, and that they can enjoy their break since they did so much for the kingdom. With Yami saying it's no problem. And also, because of this, the Wizard King felt generous and gave them a golden star, with Asta was surprised, and also Yami. But then, pretty much, the Wizard King asked a question for Asta. with pretty much Asta saying, yes, Wizard King? With him asking the question about the sword. Because he actually went through a lot of documents about asking such a family if ever existed. There are no records of such a family, because if they were, they would become knights or nobles. But for some reason, they are not. It's like off the grid. With Asta kind of sweating, with him looking at Yami, with pretty much the Wizard King just laughing, saying, don't worry, I'm just joking with you. I know your secret, chosen hero of the sword. Asta saying, what? How did you? With Yami saying, I forgot to tell you, but he can kind of see the present, future, past, present, and future. With Asta saying, so you knew from the beginning. With pretty much the Wizard King just shaking his head. With Asta saying, and you just did this because you just wanted to mess around. And of course, the Wizard King shook his head again. With Asta saying, please tell me that I don't die in the future. With pretty much the Wizard King not shaking at all, just kind of shrugging, saying, I don't know, I can't see that far completely. With Asta just kind of, for some reason, it's like, he just goes to the ground saying, I'm gonna die. Oh crap. It's been good knowing you, world. I'm sorry that I failed you. With Yami saying, stop messing around with the poor kid. He literally has a lot on his plate. With the Wizard King saying, yeah, we're just messing around, it's fine. But there's a 50-50 chance that you might die. With Asa hearing this saying, what? With pretty much, even Yami says, what? With pretty much, of course he's been told even earlier about this. With Asa saying, what? How? When? What? With Asta saying, oh, I think I already know the how, but when? With pretty much the Wizard King saying he doesn't know when, but he only knows how. And I'm guessing you already know how. You could die, but who knows? It's just based on luck. With Asta saying, oh dear goddess, I'm gonna need help. Pretty much him looking devastated. And then Yami comes in saying, so is that all? Or do we have any missions? With the Wizard King saying, no, you don't have any missions. You can pretty much just take a break. And pretty much all the other Black Bulls saying how strong Asta and Zelda are, and they all wanted to go train, so pretty much kind of the same thing, and Vanessa does the same thing as Canon, but instead trying to heal Asta's arms, since Asta's arms did not get cursed, she actually goes to the Witch Queen, to get trained, to be able to learn how to become more powerful, to be able to protect her friends. But the Witch Queen actually does take up her offer, but says that she has to stay in the forest. And pretty much, and she's been gone for a while too, which Asta and everyone else gets worried, and Yami pretty much Yami thinks that she went to the witch forest, or however you call it. With pretty much, he asked his sensei. Of course, his sensei still happens in canon. How he met it is kind of the same way, but a bit different, but still, whatever, okay? Please don't hate me. It's the same thing as canon, where he met his sensei during the training and stuff like that. Pretty much Asta's sensei, and of course the sensei kind of came along to get his wife back too. No, actually the sensei already has his wife, still has his wife, thankfully, still there with him, because Asta helped him save her, let's say. And pretty much Asta's sensei's wife showed them of where it is, and pretty much took them to the wood, and of course to the woods, and pretty much that's when the Witch Queen, or Queen Witch, however you pronounce it, but pretty much it's the same thing as canon, as the Eye of the Midnight Sun and also the Diamond Kingdom are attacking the witch's forest. It's the same thing as canon, But something happens for Asta, and also Zelda. They feel a type of presence. They don't know what it is, but they feel a type of presence. It's like something powerful. And it's not the Witch Queen, nor Ganondorf. But you guys might know what it is. With pretty much Asta's memory of the past Link from Ocarina of Time saying, It's here. It's here, Asta. It's somewhere around here. You have to look for it. No one else can have that power. Only the royal family or you. You have to get it. Quickly. With Asta saying, it's here. With Zelda saying, what's here? Since Zelda is pretty much next to Asta. And of course Noelle asked the same thing for, what's here? And what are you talking about? With Asta saying, it's one of the items that one of my past selves used to go back in time. And to stop Ganon. With Zelda saying, which one? And he looked at Zelda saying, the Ocarina of Time. Zelda saying, what is that? If it sounds familiar, but with Asta saying, it should sound familiar to you since it's from your family lineage. Zelda says, what do you mean? With Asta saying, the Ocarina of Time is from your family. From the royal family. With Zelda and Noelle shocked, saying, what? What would the hero be having? With Asta saying, it's because it's to be safe, and she trusted it. Your past self trusted me. You know what? It's complicated, but let's say your past self trusted me to hide it away. Okay? With Zelda understanding, okay. Do you know where it is? With us saying, no, I don't. With pretty much, Asta they all make it to the Witch Queen, and pretty much all of them go there and tells Asta, pretty much Asta tells her that they are here to bring back their friend Vanessa. With pretty much, the Queen says she will give back Vanessa, but she will only do so if you get rid of the people that are in her territory. With Asta and everyone saying, so who are here in your territory? With pretty much, the Queen says, the Eye of the Midnight Sun and the Diamond Kingdom, if I remember that's what it's called. And pretty much everyone's shocked, saying that Eye of the Midnight Sun is back. With pretty much Asta is saying, damn it. Okay. And that's when pretty much the same thing is canon for when Asta and the others are going into battle. Wait, I need to go look for the name. I think it was Sasha or something, but let me go look for the name just in case. Okay, so it's Fauna. Okay, good to know. So pretty much, that's when it's the same thing as canon as Fauna. As Fauna pretty much sees Asta, and she sees the sword saying, so a filthy human was chosen to protect this filthy, disgusting world. Maybe the goddess has made a mistake, and the chosen wasn't meant to be you. Maybe you're just his replacement. You aren't the real hero. You can't be a real hero because you are a human. With pretty much, of course, I was saying, well, you can say I'm not fully human, but I am somewhat human. Fauna, of course, was confused with then, what was his name? Mars? Yes, I think it was Mars. With pretty much Mars appearing and saying, Fauna! Doing the same thing as Ken and saying that, telling Asta that that's his first friend, Fauna, and she needs help. The same thing as canon, but something else is different. Asta, instead of being asked, being asked, being helped by Mars, he actually does it himself. Asta uses both the wind of Revali's gale and also the shield of Daruk's protection to be able to keep moving forward, even in such a heat blast, which the shield does start cracking. And pretty much, Asta does keep going. Like, Asta, same as Canon, he was able to tap everything out and pretty much able to save Fauna as Canon. I forgot the creepy skinny guy's name, but it's the same thing as Canon, that he steals the magic somewhat of Fauna. And that's when Asta was pretty much knocked down. That's when before that, in the nice moment that Asta was there, Asta sees something that pretty much caught something. What am I saying? Something that caught Asta's eye. He saw something that was sticking out of the ground. It looked blue. He was gonna go look at it, but then something caught him. He let his guard down, and something caught him off guard, which knocked him out because he was actually he was in a bit of a weak state because of all that fire. It did kind of burn him a bit, but not too much. But he did get a bit burned. With Asta being knocked out, same thing as Canon happens. With Asta seeing Libe. With Libe saying, "Hey, you gotta wake up." With Asta saying, "What happened?" With Libe saying, "You let your guard down and you got your butt kicked, so you may want to get up." With Asta saying, pretty much asking for help. He asks if Libe can help. With Libe says, "Yeah, sure. Just hold on to my arm." Pretty much just shake. It's like he holds on to Asta holds on to Libe's arm, and the same thing as Canon happens. But instead of being completely black, it's something else. Instead of being demon wings, instead of being demon wings, it's like dark angel wings, like fallen angel wings. And like some feathers start falling from Asta's wings. And it was majestic, yet and terrifying at the same time. With Asta walking forth, and the same thing as Canon happens, like black meteorite, if I remember that's what it's called. And the same thing as Canon happens, where the guy pretty much was beaten down by Asta, him saying to finish him off. With this comedically, of course, same as Canon, with Asta saying, "Are you crazy?" Pretty much doing the same thing as Canon. And Asta notices the form, which he looks like an angel, which is odd. And then, pretty much, but the thing is, he didn't need this because. But there's something else. Before I still continue, I actually left a part that I actually thought it was important for us. Pretty much, before they left, the Witch Queen looked at Zelda saying, "So, if you need my assistance, you're gonna need this." Pretty much helping Zelda instead of Asta, because Asta actually had all his abilities unlocked in the beginning. And then something happened to Zelda. Of course, Zelda was helping them, and she was able to fight back with the Eye of the Midnight Sun also, and some of the wizards from the Diamond Kingdom, which she was tired. But then something happened to her. She was being controlled by the witch, the Queen Witch of the Witch Queen with her blood magic, if I remember that's what it's called. Pretty much the same thing as Canon, with her noticing that, but also she wanted to do the same thing to Asta, but he wouldn't take it seemed like he wouldn't have taken his offer since he had all the power. She was still trying to do the same thing to Asta and saying that they are both going to kill their friends. But Asta luckily didn't get caught by the strings and pretty much avoiding the cross. And Asta didn't want to hurt his friend. So pretty much something happened. Something caught his eye again. Oops. he sees something, and it's a flute, with the voice saying, "Grab it, quickly!" With Asta going towards it, and then seeing this, he instantly grabs it and goes hide behind a tree. With pretty much the queen saying, "Aw, why are you hiding? Come out, wherever you are. Come on, we can be such great friends. Don't worry about your other friends. They can rest easy. They will go to a better place." With pretty much Asta, like looking at the flute, and then he sees the same the same thing, and he says, "Is this?" With the link saying, "Quickly, do this note. Let's hope it still works." With Asta pretty much doing the same thing, and then he does the song of time, and he goes back a few minutes before all of this happened. And that's when he notices that he's in the same place. That's when Asta remembers, and he goes to attack, pretty much knocking out, the skinny, creepy guy. He was able to knock him out, but something else happened. Instead of Zelda, it was Asta that was taken over. With Asta, and of course Zelda was not in the thing because she was going to be taken over, with Asta telling her that you won't hurt my friends. Pretty much him, like, resisting even the most painful and grueling of things that the queen was doing. Asta was going to the grimoire, which the queen thought that she was winning the fight, with Asta tapping himself, pretty much hitting himself with the flat of the sword, which it kind of did work because he did have a bit of more self-control, but he was still connected. The strings were still connected to him. Pretty much him thinking that he has to cut off the strings, which he does try, but he can't do it with that sword, with the Demon Slayer sword. With pretty much Zelda not knowing what to do, Asta said, "Catch Zelda!" And pretty much Asta throws the Master Sword towards Zelda. And Zelda sees this and pretty much doesn't know what to do with it. And she just sees Asta just resisting the most painful thing, because he keeps resisting on not moving, and he can just feel the amount of pain that he's screaming. And of course, the same thing at the red string of destiny, the same thing as canon happens to Vanessa. Pretty much just tapping Asta again, with pretty much Asta thankful that, and he says, "Thanks, Vanessa," pretty much passing out because of the pain. Same thing as canon happens with the talk of the queen, and then pretty much the same talk, with Noelle running over to Asta saying, "Asta, are you okay?" With Asta kind of just sleeping a bit, and he just snores. With Noelle kind of being annoyed of this, she kind of made a bit of a small water, and then just dropped it into Asta's face, which Asta woke up, comedically saying, I'm awake, what happened?" With Noelle saying, "Why did you do that? You're a complete idiot. Why did you take the front?" And pretty much that's what Zelda said. With Asta saying, "I came because what you did was a bit more destructive than I did." With Zelda confused saying, "What do you mean?" With Asta taking out something from his pocket saying, "I used this." And then pretty much that's when Zelda sees an ocarina, and she says, "Yeah, and what about it?" With Asta saying, "The Ocarina of Time, it's yours, so I used it." with pretty much Zelda shocked saying, "Wait, you went back in time? For how long?" With Asta just saying, "A few minutes." With pretty much Asta pretty much saying, with no pretty much um with pretty much Zelda and Noelle shocked, saying, "You went back in time just for a few minutes?" But Asta says, "In my defense, she did extremely great damage to the forest, and she almost killed everyone." With Zelda saying, "Oh, well, I think that was worth it for not killing you, and also for changing the future somewhat." With the Queen hearing them saying, "What? How can you go back in time?" With Asta saying, "It's none of your business. You're the one that tried to control us." With, of course, pretty much the Queen feeling even more sad that she tried to control someone. But he said, "But still, I understand why. You wanted to protect everyone. But that doesn't give you the excuse of controlling me to try to kill my friends. But still, I'll give you a second chance." And then pretty much she wants to know what's special about Asta. She sees that, and she sees there's nothing special about him. He doesn't have any magic. His family lineage is something odd. And then she asks something to the boy with the other boy, Finral. And she asked Finral if he has spatial magic. With Finral saying, yes I do. Why?" With her saying, "It looks like his family lineage has connected to yours also. Maybe a distant relative?" With pretty much Finral saying, "What do you mean?" And pretty much then she asked if she can also see something. And that's when the Queen noticed something, the difference between both Finral and Asta. Asta's blood lineage was actually more of a, how do you say, pure, you could say? Has more of the blood lineage than Finral. And she noticed, saying, "Wait, did you have an uncle by any chance, Mr. Asta?" Asta, asking if he... with Asta thinking, saying, "My dad said that he had a younger brother, so I'm guessing, yeah, why?" Which, pretty much, the Witch Queen says, "You are related to Finral, the man right here," pointing at Finral. And she says, "But the thing is, it's more like you're an ancestor of his." With Finral and Asta looking at each other, and then Asta and Finral saying, and everyone else saying, "What?" And pretty much that's where I'm going to leave it off. I hope everyone enjoyed, if I did this right. And also, I'm sorry for pretty much the whole, the video stopping and everything. So please understand that this is literally not by choice. I'm in my phone, it shuts off automatically, so I have to keep tapping on the screen. So if you see the whole thing appearing, all the icons appearing, that's just because I have to tap the screen. So pretty much, I hope you guys enjoy. Wherever you are, take care of yourself. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Have a good morning. Wherever you are, take care of yourself. See you guys. Bye.